Hello, I am Miss Maclin, Riverview 7th grade math teacher, and today we are going to go over how to solve two-step equations. Now, it's a couple things I need to go over before we start today. Equations. Equations are math sentences that just have to be dissected. The main goal of solving two-step equations is to get the variable by itself. Now let's get started with our first example. Our first example reads 3x minus 4 equals 2. The very first thing we need to do to solve this two-step equation is to undo any addition or subtraction we see first by using additive inverse, or the opposite of what we see. Once again, the first thing we must do is undo all subtraction and addition first by using additive inverse, or the opposite of what we see. So as we see here, it says 3x minus 4 equals 2. We must undo the subtraction. The opposite of subtracting would be adding. So we would add 4 onto both sides. Give it a moment and it'll pop right on up. Add 4 to both sides. That leaves us with negative 4 plus a positive 4. We'll cancel that out. That would be 0. And 2 plus 4 would give us 6. So left over, we have 3x equals 6. We have 3x equals 6. Next, we must undo any multiplication or division we see by using the multiplicative inverse. Basically, if I am multiplying, I will divide. And if I'm dividing, I will multiply. And what I do on one side of the equation, I must do on the other, as you saw with the addition of 4 on both sides. So now I would divide 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 would give us 1x, or you could just write x. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So x ultimately equals 2. All right, let's try another example. Remember, first, we must get rid of any addition and subtraction first by using additive inverse. Second, we must undo any multiplication or division we see by using the multiplicative inverse. And remember, what you do on one side of the equal sign, you must do on the other. Let's get into example 2. Now we have 4x plus 3 equals 15. If you would like, you could pause your video to try to solve this problem on your own. Like I said, first we have to undo all addition and subtraction we see by using additive inverse. And the additive inverse of positive 3 or plus 3 would be minus 3 or negative 3. So what I do on one side of the equation, I must do on the other. So I will be subtracting 3 from both sides. All right. Another tip to remember is line up your numbers with your equation, just so you can help keep everything neat and tidy so you won't get confused. So a positive 3 minus 3 would give us 0. 15 minus 3 would give us 12. That should leave us with 4x equals 12. Next, we have to undo any multiplication or division we see. And remember, our main goal is to get the variable by itself. Since 4 is being multiplied by x, we must do the opposite or the multiplicative inverse of 4 times x, which will be 4 divided by x. And then 12 divided by 4. As you can see, we are dividing 4 on both sides of the equation. 4 divided by 4 will give us 1x, or you can just write x. And then 12 divided by 4 equals 3. So x equals 3. Let's do one more. Now this one looks a little different. We have y divided by 4 minus 4 equals 3. We're still using the same steps and the same process. The first thing we must do is undo any addition and subtraction we see by using the additive inverse. So the additive inverse or opposite of minus 4 would be plus 4. And what you do on one side of the equation, you must do on the other. So we will be adding 4 on both sides of the equation. As you can see, let me go back one moment. A negative 4 plus a positive 4. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, you guys. A negative 4 plus a positive 4 will be 0. 3 plus 4 will give us 12. So that will leave us with y divided by 4 equals 7. I'm so sorry. Next, what we must do is undo any multiplication or division we see on both sides of the equation. In the last two examples, we were dealing with multiplication. In this example, we're dealing with division. So the opposite of division is multiplication. And you must do so by using the reciprocal. So I would multiply 4 on both sides of the equation. Four times 7 equals 28. And then 4, using the reciprocal, multiplied by 4. 4 times 1 over 4 will give you 1y. Or you can just write y. So y equals 28. I'm sure we can do one more example. All right. Now this one says 5 plus b divided by 3 equals negative 2. This is still a two-step equation. It is just written a little bit different. Instead of having our addition or subtraction closer to the equal sign, it is the first part of the equation. And let's remember, if we're undoing addition or subtraction first, and that number is at the front of the equation, we will always use the sign that is associated at the front of the number. So since our 5 is a positive 5, we can assume that we're adding. So the opposite of a positive 5 would be a negative 5. So from there, I would subtract 5 from both sides of the equation. All right. Now that I have subtracted 5 from both sides of the equation, a positive 5 minus 5 will give us 0, and negative 2 minus 5 would give us negative 3. Or negative 7. I do apologize. So now we're left over with b divided by 3 equals negative 7. Now from here, the second step is to undo any multiplication or division we see by doing the opposite. So therefore, we will be multiplying 3 on both sides of the equation. A negative 7 times a positive 3 would give us a negative 21. So B equals 21. Negative 21. I do hope you enjoyed my video. And to begin next week's video, we will be going over a few problems. We're going to go over numbers 1 through 6. Numbers 1 through 6. If you can see those there, I will leave them up on the screen for a few moments. We really appreciate you watching our YouTube channel. I would hope that you push subscribe and you come back next week to see our lovely lessons. Thank you for watching, and we miss y'all, and we hope you continue to tell your friends to subscribe.